What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast, and today we're gonna finally review a car that had made a couple of guest appearances in my past videos, like the one where I reviewed my 118 scale parking garage display, or the more recent 124 repair workshop diorama. This car, as I found out recently, is a sort of rare Maisto. It's a 2004 Chevy Impala. Maisto also made them in 118 scale, not just as a street car, but also as a yellow taxicab, and as various police interceptors as well. And while you can still find the 118 street versions, the 124s are harder to find. I picked this one up without box like 5 years ago for pretty much MSRP, so at the time I wasn't aware of its rarity and just thought it was nice to add another 124 sedan to my collection, because usually 118 is the scale for four-door vehicles. Now this is the Gen 8 Impala, which was made from 2000 to 2005. The Gen 7 from the 90s was made in 118 scale by UT Models, which is also pretty expensive these days, despite having been a budget model back in the day, with like pegs on the headlamps and such. Taking a look at the front of the 124 scale 2004 Chevy Impala by Maisto, the front is pretty okay. I mean, it looks quite similar to the 118. Of course, these headlights unfortunately have two pegs in each of them, basically on the first and the third light, as the headlight is composed of 3 bulbs on each side. And by comparison, on the 118, the pegs are more in the corners, so they don't get in the way of the bulbs. In the middle, we have a thin front grille, where we have a Chevrolet bow tie in blue. I believe the gold one was introduced 2005 onward. And then we have like a single chrome slat. Underneath, we have a license plate just saying Chevrolet, which is of course flanked by 2 fog lamps, which were unpainted here on the 124, while they are separate plastic pieces on the 118, but there they come with 2 black pegs each, so I decided to paint them in silver here. And now moving up, you can see that the hood contains the front-wheel drive engine, which I'll show you in a second, but then up here we have the 2 windshield wipers, which are not separate pieces but part of the front windshield, and then the mirror sculpts are in body color. And now checking out the engine, you can see that Maisto has done a really nice job on the engine. I'd say it has almost the same level of detail as the 118, and this is the supercharged version of the 3.8-liter V6 with 240 horsepower and a 0 to 100 kph time of 6.6 seconds. The other engines available were the naturally aspirated 3.8-liter V6 and a slightly smaller 3.4-liter V6. The only extra detail that the 118 engine has is that the valve cover here is unpainted, and all these little wires have more texture on them, while here they are smooth. And here's a look at the side of the 124 scale 2004 Chevy Impala SS, and you can see that we've got the Impala SS badge on the front doors, just like on the real car. And we've got these 5-spoke wheels, which, however, do not have any brake discs or calipers on them because it is a 124 Maisto from like 20 years ago, so they didn't do that back then. But we've got slightly raised Chevy bow ties on the wheel hubs, and they're surrounded by 5 lug nuts. We also have the Impala logo here on the C-pillar and the gas door. And taking a look at the back of the 124 scale 2004 Chevy Impala by Maisto, I really think that the back looks amazing on this car. Being an SS, this one has the rear spoiler, which however is only made out of plastic, but it's got the third brake light integrated into it, and it's been painted red. One of the main reasons why I actually bought this 2004 Impala back in the day was because of this awesome taillight design that the Gen 8 had. It's like one big light bar, and even on this 124 version, there are no pegs to hold it in place, so it's done very nicely. Although on the real car, the lights flanking the trunk badge are dual color. Other than that, we have the same Chevrolet license plate underneath the trunk lock, which is also painted in silver, and we've got dual exhausts. And now taking a look at the interior of the 124 scale 2004 Chevrolet Impala SS, you can see that Maisto has actually done a pretty nice job on the interior of this sedan. We've got a gray dashboard along with gray seats. And then if we take a closer look at the center console, it's got raised buttons, and all the buttons have been labeled. We've got the 2 climate control knobs, multiple aircon vents that have been painted black as well, automatic transmission, and over here on the dash it even says something. Airbag, maybe? On the 118 there's an Impala SS inscription left of the passenger side air vent, which is missing here on the 124, but it was a very tiny inscription on the 118 to begin with. However, Maisto made sure to include the SS inscription on the door panel of this 124 model as well, which is nice. And if you look closely, you can even see the window buttons have been molded onto the door panel, at least on the driver's side. We've got dual cup holders, and taking a closer look at the seats, they've got that cloth stitching type of pattern. The headrests aren't hollowed out like on the 118 version. The seatbelts have been molded into the rear seats on this 124, while they are separate plastic pieces on the 118. There's actually 3 of them, since it's basically a rear bench seat for 3 passengers. There is no transmission tunnel and no rear center console either. Other than that, though, there's really not much else to see here, but it's a nicely done interior for a 124 scale car, and also a pretty good looking car from the early 2000s, I'd say. And now taking a look at the driver's side of the 2004 Chevy Impala, you can see that the steering wheel has a really nice amount of detail because if I can focus this, the Chevy bow tie is actually embossed onto it, slightly raised, just like the horn buttons, I think. But the steering wheel buttons are unpainted on this 124, while they're painted black on the 118. The turn signal stalks are missing on this 124, while the 118 has them. The 118 also has the seat adjustment knob, while it is missing on the 124. And there's a separate sticker for the gauge cluster for the instrument binnacle as well. Under the flash you can even read the gauges, which is a nice bit of detail for this scale, and you can also see there are multiple gauges. If you look closely, you can see the floor pedals are also in the footwells in the form of separate black plastic pieces. Maisto didn't just mold them into the footwell like they usually do on their 124 models. And again, at the button it probably says airbag. Here's another look at the SS badging on the door card. And now taking a look at the bottom of the 124 2000 Chevrolet Impala, you can see that I did some work here. I painted the entire exhaust system in silver. It's got 2 mufflers and then the dual exhausts. Now up here it says 2004 Chevrolet Impala SS, used under license, scale 124, Maisto made in Thailand. We've got a little bit of detail here, like these cables coming down all the way to the back, and the fuel tank, and the spare wheel. But yeah, otherwise there's not much else going on here. So I hope you guys liked my review of the 124 scale 2004 8th gen Chevy Impala SS by Maisto. This is definitely a rare 124 model, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. But you can still find the 118 if you want to get one. So, take care, check out my other reviews, and have a good one, guys. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.